He's running. Oh, someone else. And he's back. And he's out. We won.
Hi, Zobo975 and welcome to Elite Dangerous on the Xbox One. This is the legacy version of the game. Now, I got home from work on a Monday night and I went to work doing some missions. Just some missions to do anti-BGS work against the people we're currently PPIing, which is a group called Armour. They sent someone to try and kill me, so I took that as their response that no, they didn't want to buy PPI insurance. Which is a shame because the price is now going up daily, and we're currently in the process of removing one of their assets from them. In fact, after the next 3 or 4 days, they might not even own a system. So, you know, we're generally having fun just messing around with their BGS. They realised this and had a guy waiting for me when I got back to the system to pick up more missions. So I got Dark Owl to join me and he chased him away. Then there was some fighting. We managed to get Provost involved, Meta Orange jumped on, and we had some fights 4v3 against them. And they were all the time in 2 Corvettes and a cutter, 2 Plasmac phasing Corvettes and 1 frag cutter. Massive shield tank builds. We, of course, being the Dark Marauders, we're not really that worried. I think we had 2 shieldless crates on the go in one of the fights, but they did jump out, so, you know, we switched it up. We were all everyone was sat on my carrier and they were saying they were going to go and retreat to their home system and wait for us. And I think there's a difference in ethos about ship builds because, you know, they were in 2 Corvettes and a cutter, and we turned up in a Mamba, a shieldless adder, a Diamondback Scout, and an FDL, which was Provost. Because Provost is actually quite a sweaty PvPer. He's running NTFS tags at the moment. He was in code, but he's a pretty decent PvPer. Me, I turned up in my phasing Mamba because I just wanted to see how little hull that cutter had, because I just saw how many shield boosters it had on it, and my god, was it melting. Al brought his adder along, and he was having a lot of fun just giggling as Plasmacs were whistling all around him as he was just flying around. The funniest thing was watching that vet try and shoot at the adder. It was proper funny. Meta brought his Diamondback Scout along. There's more about that Diamondback Scout in a minute. And Provost was in his FDL. So we had 4v3, but we're all in not exactly the most competitive builds. One of them did say to me, like when he saw what I was in, he was like, "Oh, a Mamba, what are you going to do, go racing?" So clearly he's not fought me before because, yeah, my Mambas are a royal pain in the butt at best and an absolute nightmare for people at worst. And as you can see, he, yeah, this cutter, its ship building design does not favour hull, which if you're going to skip hull day, the last person you want to run into is me, I tell you. Because either I'm going to phase you or I'm just going to ram crap out of you, one or the other. But yeah, so I'm enjoying whittling this guy down. Al's in here and he's a shieldless adder having a whale of a time just giggling in party. And I believe Meta and Provost were ganging up on the other vet. Now, Vampire Thirsty would be very pleased because the tactic that we used against this big ship was to use flechettes. Meta brought 2 flechettes along in his Diamondback Scout stealth ship, and yeah, they did amazing work for us. I've never really seen Meta use flechettes before, so it was interesting. So my job was just go after the cutter because that had no shield, no hull underneath its massive, ridiculous shields. Meta's job was to try and take some shields down. Our job was to distract people, and we were just giggling and laughing and having fun. We weren't taking things too seriously. Earlier in the evening there'd been some fights where we were completing off all the missions that we had left to do before we wanted to get into fights where we would like to get killed and take silly ships. So while we were doing that, Provost rocked out and got 3v1'd in a Type 10, which was quite funny. I'm going to bring you another video rounding up the rest of the fights. This one is focused on this like 4v3 wing fight because it was a fun encounter. The other video is going to sort of wrap up the other stuff. I ended up having a 1v1 with Tenedor. There was loads of crazy different fights, and yeah, and I had a real fun ending to the evening. We really enjoyed ourselves, and so did they. Everyone was GGing. It was a good laugh. And you know, we're currently PPIing them, and if they negotiate to pay, all to the good. If they don't, we'll just continue to drop them down the rankings in different systems and take systems off them. Probably remove a few assets, and that's about it. But as you can see, this cutter is definitely showing that there's a difference in the style of builds that we would use to what they would use, especially in terms of hull and just in general. The cutter is a real copium ship. It's just, I don't like the cutter, everyone knows that, because it just can jump away from most things. But anyway, I'll switch over to meta and we can enjoy that moment that we were all waiting for with the flechettes. And that is the problem with having three big, massive ships, and designed around having masses of shields. So once those shields go down, the four little guys are going to just peck you apart. And yeah, it was amazing. We all switched target immediately, went after his FSD, and I gotta say, Provost just dipped in there. The reason you bring a PvP for Sweat along is because of the way they do certain things, and the way Provost took out the FSD so quickly is just exactly why you bring a PvP Sweat along to this sort of thing. There we go. And from that point on, the Corvette is dead. It's just waiting to die. As soon as I find out the FSD's been taken out, I actually go back to fighting the cutter, because yeah, that's my primary job, is just to keep that thing out of the fight and keep that thing away. So cutters are a pain in the butt because they can jump out no matter what. All you can do is force one to jump out, and the phasing member was a perfect choice to do that, because it's just going to whittle away that hull, and you can't stick around when your hull gets low, and it's not going to do anything to me in terms of damage. I've got chaff, he's got gimbaled frags. I'm quite thin and narrow profile, and I'm going to stay just facing him, not worrying about it. I don't think I even bothered to ram him, which I normally do in this ship, but all in all, I was happy with what I was doing. Poor Tenedor got trapped in here in a Corvette with no FSD, with three people on his butt, and it was pretty obvious what was going to happen, but it took some time. I did drift back over in that direction just to see what was going on, and yeah, it was a good fight. I mean, the fact that we got through it without a single loss, in considering the ships that we were in, as you can see from the top, everyone's still alive, even though some people are alive on a very little bit of hull, but that might be because he just rammed a Corvette trying to kill it. This party was just a bit of fun, and we enjoyed ourselves. It showed a difference in ethos in the way we take, I think, the way we take the game and the way we take our shipbuilding. I don't think there's many armor guys flying around in shieldless Cobra Mark IV pirate ships like we do, but I could be wrong. I mean, I just spent a couple of days building a new drop ship because it's really rubbish and I love that ship. But yeah, all in all, we had a really good fun night fighting in PvP, and it was good to see everyone getting on board. So I thought I'd show you clips from all of them as they get in on the kill in their various ships. They say Provost was probably the only truly serious PvP build we had. Ours was probably the silliest build, the penetrator missile and the beam lasers. Yep, that was a fun, silly ship. And the Just Eat delivery van actually did us proud. So it survived an encounter with 3 bigs in a big wing fight. You can't ask for more than that out of a Just Eat delivery van adder. And like I say, he did a lot of damage to himself, ramming people to try and do damage to them. So yeah, all in all, it was good fun. It was Meta's job to take the shields down, and he took them down, and that's it. Once the shields go down, we got a nice kill on a big ship, and that's always a good way to kick off the evening. I think this was one of the first deaths of the night, so that was all. I'll leave you with Provost, and I'll say that's all. Thank you very much for watching. These are all clips of the same Corvette exploding, where you can kill multiple Corvettes, but they did vacate after this Corvette went down. Anyway, that's all. Thank you very much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.